Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. This is a daily for Bitcoin. I wish you to have first a nice day and of course trade safe always. We're gonna start for the daily on the 2 hours chart here to see what happened to Bitcoin, what we might expect for today. And of course we're gonna go in a bigger picture on the daily as well chart to see what are the potential for the next move. So basically what we are looking on the 2 hour chart on the lower time frames here is a potential top here for a wave C, where we have currently an A, B of course as a triangle, where you have after this wave A here you have an A, B, C, D and an E, and you start a 1, 2, 3, 4 triangle and then wave 5 given. And after this wave 5, we see, of course, an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which is, of course, an impulse defining the direction of the market temporarily. It can be a short-term, right, direction, but it can be confirmed, of course, after this correction here to see, of course, the target hit as expected. So basically, what you have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then followed by A, B, and a C expanding flat. The expanding flat has to be an impulse, and it might hit, of course, the fib levels for a wave 2 in case we are moving toward the downside. Now, in case that we break this level and we see continuation toward the upside, passing, of course, the fib level for an expanding flat, that means, of course, this might be something as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, continuation toward the upside, because don't forget at the same time this low here can be a wave 4 in the yellow, which is the second scenario here, where you have of course a wave 1 rather than wave A, and rather than having A, B, C, D and an E as a triangle, you have here potentially of course a wave 2. So I will put the wave 2 exactly here. In this case, if you have a wave 2, you might be, of course, in something like you're looking for double 1, 2 here, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2 again, 3, 4, and a 5. And that means a 4 and a 5 is already requested just because, of course, of this wave 1, 2 as well. So potentially, of course, we might be unfolding something for higher again, for a new high, and then moving still continuously this impulse toward the upside, having of course a bigger 4 and a 5, and seeing something much more bigger. Meaning, in case I'm not gonna put the very micro level here, meaning if we get this high, I'm gonna change of course this counting here for the white to a wave 5 there. Why? Because this 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 is your wave 3 right now, in case, of course, that we are bullish. And this yellow scenario, the wave 4, 3, 4, 5 might shift even for higher later on. But currently, I'm gonna keep everything as it is until we get confirmation there, because the things, of course, change based on the price action, right? So we're gonna keep it so far like that, and we'll see, of course, what's gonna happen. Currently, it's still a wave C. You didn't reach the 1.27. For a 1, 2 here, 3, which is the minimum requirement, of course, for a wave 3. And therefore, that's why I'm still looking for 4, 5 to finish a wave 3 later on. The things are still, of course, between bullish and bearish. Currently, we are inside this blue box. And currently, we see this moving towards the upside, which it can be a wave C. It can be a wave 1, 2, again, 3, 4, 5. Signal is, of course, or key level to be watched is the 119K 450. If we overpass this 0.5 fib level, you pass the 1.618 and we overshoot it. Therefore, we are simply, of course, continuing the trend toward the upside. We forgot, of course, right now the testing of this wave C, and that we have topped. We simply move for higher. On the bigger view, on the daily, which is very important to check today, very nice indication. On the channels here, as you see, we broke the base channel and we went back. And now today we see, of course, the price action using it as a support again, which is a very nice signal. If this of course continue toward the upside, that might be of course now the signal that we are above the base channel again and using it as support, and then of course we might seek after of course this line, which is your acceleration channel again, to finish up of course an impulse here for 545, hitting this this lower line of the acceleration channel and moving toward the downside after it, because this is might be your top. Now what happened in this case scenario, that you have finished a wave 5 over there, meaning this is your wave 5 here, 4 and a 5 due to a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. You might start a new bearish market from there, from the top, and then A, B and a C towards the downside. A new bear market might unfold of course, and I believe that it still can reach this zone, which is of course the strongest and the mightiest support here that we have for Bitcoin. And I believe that this is one of the hardest support that Bitcoin ever created in history. And I believe that a wave 3 is going to unfold from there for a new bull run, of course, which it might be very massive and explosive towards the upside. So we're gonna see of course what's gonna happen now in Confluence. You can see of course for the bullish here on the daily, you can see in Confluence that we have this acceleration channel in the target exactly where we might hit as a wave 5 in case we continue toward the upside. Plus, if you remember the deep analysis where you have your curve line here gathering all the all-time highs in the all-time history, passing of course and touching this curve line, which is exactly at the 130k, where we would like to see the price coming in and enters this box. Now it's not necessarily to touch the line, but anyway, getting inside this box impulsively, that is more than enough as an evidence that we are in of course in a wave 5 here and not in a wave B. What I mean with a wave 5 not in a wave B, it is of course this scenario, the wave B that we are talking about, where you would like to reach as of course 126k, wave B expanding flat as an A, B and a C. So basically if we still inside this blue box and hitting around the 126, 1.38, just looking at it like kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, this wave 5 can still be an A, B and a C, because as you can see it's very clear that this is a 1, 2, 3 and can be a wave 4 and a wave 5, and still can play of course as a major wave B, meaning if we move for higher until 126, 200, it's still of course bearish. It means A, B and a C, right? If we break this one and we move of course towards this blue box, which is of course our wave 5 above 130k, therefore we consider this is a wave 5. Of course there is a huge difference, guys. There is a huge difference between both. Why I'm making sure that you understand this, because if you are in a wave B, your bearish market is very close to finish. You have one single move toward the downside, which is a wave C, direct move as an impulse, finishing this wave C and simply moving toward the upside for the bull run. While of course if you have a bullish scenario unfolding a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, the chart is telling you that this is the top right now and we're gonna start a bear market from that point and not from that point, meaning you have to expect of course a long, very long corrective wave ABC, probably to reach of course this area, and it might take of course until the next year, even 1.5 years potentially, to finish this move toward the downside and start the of course a new bull run in 2026 or even in 2027 can be of course a possibility. So we're gonna see of course how this is going to unfold for Bitcoin. Today of course we have to watch those key level currently for a wave C, very close of course to be broken, and yeah, you have to be careful. Potentially it can move, continue this trend since you have an impulse. It can continue the trend toward the downside and starting something like a big zigzag to be tested 1-to-1 fib level, and this might be of course a confirmation here of a bear market in case we break it and we move for further downside. This is definitely 1, 2, 3. You're looking for 4, 5. The direction of the market on a bigger scale has been defined toward the downside. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.